This CEO used to be the king of LinkedIn, but now he's being accused of very bad things, including abuse of power to get, well, you're gonna find out right now. Welcome back, my body language buddies. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the body language guy, and it would be great if you join us by just liking this video, subscribing, and hitting that bell. Let's get down to it. This was the cover of Incorporated magazine a few years back. We have this. Is this the best boss in America? What did Dan Price do to get so much praise from the media? Well, Dan Price decided to pay all 120 employees at least $70,000. Grown men cried, profits soared, then things got really crazy. He became a symbol of how a company should be run. And of course, that image, a lot like Jesus Christ, helped a lot for that branding. But this is what we got now. 70,000 CEO Dan Price accused of raping model as she tried to sleep. Yeah, from the New York Post, it's disturbing enough, but this is gonna get even worse. So yes, a bit of a trigger warning because this is gonna get way worse than you think. I wanted to talk about this case because it has so many elements that can help us identify how a narcissist can use the media or his or her own reputation to reach out to people with all their power and all their clout and mesmerize them into plain and simple abuse. And the moment you see this kind of pictures, when you are related to the original Jesus in so many ways, you should begin raising your red flags. You should be setting your alarms at least a bit. This already sounds like too good to be true, like a cult following on so many more things. But we got the red flags since then. As this cover says, last year's startup CEO Dan Price slashed his $1 million salary in order to raise his company's minimum wage to $7,000 a year. Overnight, he became a media darling and a folk hero for millennials. Then things got weird. His brother sued him for fraud. His ex-wife gave a TED talk in which she accused him of abuse. And now the question remains, is Dan Price a sinner or a savior? Now, there is an important distinction, an important disclaimer to make about his appearance. His appearance should not have anything to do with his behavior. Most of the time, we can find people that have certain appearance and we might misjudge them, and they have a different behavior that we did not expect. That could be for the positive, or that could be for the negative. So at this point, I would like to ask you, and you can answer in the comments, what would you make of someone that hangs out like this? Well, besides looking like a hippie, that's what I can tell you. But it's not like you're gonna judge a person automatically because they had looking one or other way. But if you have these tiny red flags and you have the behavior and his body language that we're gonna watch in a minute, then you begin stacking those signals that I tell you that you can use to have a better understanding and reach a better conclusion of what can you make of any person. So again, trigger warning because this is for mature audiences. The 70,000 CEO Dan Price's abrupt resignation from the helm of Gravity Payments as he faced a new allegation of purportedly raping a woman, according to a bombshell report. He resigned as CEO this week amid reports that he had grabbed a 26-year-old woman by the throat after she rejected his advances. But Price's resignation came shortly after he was contacted for a response to a rape allegation, another, according to a report late Thursday. Police in Palm Springs, California, have recommended that Price face a charge of rape of a drugged victim. The executive has not yet been charged in connection to alleged incident. So we're talking about very disturbing allegations, very disturbing accusations. Casey Margis, a model and artist, told the New York Times she and Price were dating for about 3 months when the alleged rape occurred during a trip to Palm Springs. Price allegedly booted Margis out of their hotel room for hours so that he could take a phone call, despite the fact that she was only wearing a bikini and a cover-up. This is a red flag, an important signal from toxic personalities. Maybe he said, "Hey, honey, can you can you get out of the room? Can you leave the room while I take this phone call? It's very important. Let you know when I finish. He could have been like sweet asking for it, but this is still a bit of a power play. Toxic personalities, including narcissists, can use this kind of actions, this kind of behaviors to exert a power play upon you. And they can be as sweet and nice asking for it as they can. But then you begin to think, why would they ask for this? Why would they treat me like this, make me feel like this, even being nice and sweet, if they were actually nice people? That doesn't fit. It's something that begins to have this huge dissonance in your head. But there's a problem. There's also all the clout that these people have in the media. You could be effectively pressured by all their reputation, all that people love them, and all that is being said of them, all good, that people are defending them. A video that we're gonna watch to see how his workers talk about him. So I can understand it can be daunting to go against a person like this. And that's how narcissists go their way. They begin to plant a reputation, to develop an actual reputation, and everybody love them except for their victims, who begin to notice that there's something wrong with their interactions. And then if you're the victim of a narcissist or a toxic personality or a manipulator, you will notice bit by bit that while they make sure, the toxic personality, they make sure to be loved by everyone else, you begin to notice that towards you is a bit different. And it starts with things like that. Honey, can't you leave the room? I'll let you know when I finish. And don't tell you, he doesn't tell you when he's gonna finish, and he takes like 2 or 3 hours, and then he calls you back. And you realize this was odd. I didn't feel good, but he was nice. Everybody loves him. That shouldn't be a problem. Maybe I'm too petty for this. I'm being too picky, and that happens a lot. Do not let yourself fall into these traps. That's why I'm not saying that you have to not trust anyone, be always suspicious of everyone, because that will be being paranoid. But you should be aware of those tiny signals, those tiny red flags that keep mounting until you realize that they are manipulating you into just neutralizing or treating you in the way that they want, cornering you into the position that they want. Later that day, Price purportedly grew angry when she rebuffed his attempt to kiss her. They also do this kind of things. If you don't act the way you're supposed to act, the way they want you to act, you're going to react with anger, or maybe they're going to treat you with silence, or maybe they're going to triangulate you with another person to make you jealous of the other person, to make you sad, to make you angry, to elicit a response in you. And this is not love, this is not attraction, this is not healthy, this is not anything. You must be aware of these signals. Again, you could say that the guy has a genuine smile, that there's nothing wrong in the way he acts or his appearance. Although you can't deny that the guy has that subtle tip of creepy. I mean, who can be that perfect after all? Well, this is the video I wanted to show you. This is not used to listen to it, but I want to remark that he appears in this video and his body language is very representative. Especially, this was in the Kelly Clarkson show. This was months or years before that he was interviewed for that show, and she was very excited about it. You know that his appearance is something that is, hey, I don't care about money, I'm such a hippie, I'm very humble and everything. That's the image that he wanted to project back then. You can see it for yourself. This was previous to the show that we're gonna watch right now. When we fast forward, you can see that his attitude is first he's dressed in greens and a dark hue of blue, like indigo, which are colors that you can use to project being conscious with nature. You can see it's, you know, the fake Jesus here. And this woman is one of his employees. She was telling about the time that she was going through a rough patch, and You can see how he plays really nice about it. He looks really nice. I'm not gonna say at this point plays really nice, because by this point, by this interview, everybody loved this guy. Well, there was this reports, strange reports of fraud, of abuse from his ex-wife, but still, everybody, most people, LinkedIn was head over heels for him. And you know his attitude with an arm over his chest, a bit defensive. He also has this, well, this is a bit creepy. He is looking at her eyes and then looking at her mouth at the same time. It's a bit creepy. You can see that he's drifting his gaze, yeah, a bit even lower than her mouth. It's much lower, I think, to her chest. It's a bit odd, that, because that drifting of the eyes is usually when you like the person, when you fancy the person, when you like someone, you usually look at their mouth, and you really like them, you look at their neck or even their chest. You try to, of course, it will be uncomfortable if you do this in social. Certain social or most social circumstances. This is well, a bit creepy, or creepy enough. Like, we could say that it's creepy enough. So, and she was talking about that moment of her life and how he making that move of the $70,000 a year for every employee of his startup. Well, he made all these people happy, and I have to say that was something that benefited. And there are anecdotes of these people that their lives were much better from that point on, and I can understand money is important for that, and their families, people that wanted to, there are people claims from people that wanted to a bigger family, for example, wanted to have another child, they couldn't until he made this move. So in one way or another, you could question his intentions, but he did something that in the public eye and effectively for many people made a change. I'm not defending him, but I'm telling you how any personality, in this case allegedly toxic personality, the lengths that they can go to set in stone that fame, that good fame. And that could be nice in one way, but not nice the way they use their power to do the things that he will be doing later. So that's why he hugs her, and even Lionel Richie claps, and that is nice. I would like all night long to clap for me too. And Kelly Clarkson was really excited about having him on her show too. So this is the kind of signals that maybe you can listen. We can listen to a clip of him talking. Let's do this.
Puts everything into what she does. And there's so many people out there like that, as I'm learning, but to see it firsthand, to see somebody that is unquestionably deserving of a living wage, deserving of being able to have health, a balanced lifestyle, and enough resources to be able to just live a...
So effectively, you can tell that the guy was making a nice move. He's nice talking, a very sweet talker. And solve so many problems thanks to having more money. So this is the conflict that we have. So it means that what they do are actually harming people? No, they will make sure to most people love them and make an impact, have that incorporated magazine cover, have those interviews on, have their public relations on. I should make another video of that to depict, to pick up all those public relations efforts he did in order to be seen as, well, the best boss in the world. And in fact, there was this scheme about an employee gifting him a Tesla. 5 years ago today, our employees bought me a Tesla to thank me for cutting my CEO pay 94% to pay them at least $70K. Since then, I paid them back with raises close to $100K, and they pay me back again by growing the company. take care of employees and they will take care of you. And he included a picture of him with the Tesla. Later, people would find out that this was just a ruse. It was just a scheme played out not by the employees. Maybe the employees did it, but the idea was originally from one of the company's top executives. So as I'm telling you, this is the scheme. This is how they set the trap. They make everyone think that everybody loves them and the victim will be less likely to denounce them. And notice one of the quotes of him, what he told this model about his life. He said, "It is so hard being him in the world because of his intelligence," Margie said. Well, it sounds like he had this ego, a very big ego, to be such a nice person, don't you think? After their argument, Margie returned to the hotel room and took a cannabis edible. Price purportedly entered the room and attempted to initiate sex, but she rebuffed him. Margie told police that as she drifted to sleep, she felt Price penetrate her even after she repulsed his advances. She worried he would kill her if she tried to stop him, according to the New York Times. "I told you this was going to get worse. And it will." The model said she first learned about Price in 2020 after coming across his viral social media posts championing workers' rights. You know the trope, right? You know the behavior pattern. And corporate responsibility. When she liked one of Price's Instagram posts in 2020, he messaged her, "Happy Valentine's Day, beautiful." Margie told the New York Times that she initially ignored the message, but eventually responded early last year. The two began talking regularly, and Price eventually flew Margie out to Seattle to meet him. Of course, he responded to the allegations that he is innocent. Price, who has built a massive following on social media while touting workers' rights, now faces multiple allegations of misconduct. The Times report includes another allegation from a Seattle-based fitness trainer named Serena Jowers, who alleges Price began watching porn during their third date and later pressured her into having sex. Okay, this is quite a character. Jowers and 3 other women who spoke to the Times alleged that he filmed them without consent. This is another power play, trying to have a recourse and having some kind of film of their encounters. And yes, not having consent for that is high legal as you can imagine. Another woman, identified only as a former girlfriend of Price, alleged that he had sex with her in the middle of the night on multiple occasions without her consent. Now, this is what triggered all this cascade of allegations. He allegedly attempted to kiss the woman following a business meeting and then grabbed her by the throat when she blocked his advances. As I was saying, toxic personalities, narcissists don't like when people, their victims, don't play as according to the plan, their intentions, and they can get very nasty very quickly and doing things like this. After the alleged altercation, Price allegedly performed Dove knots in his Tesla while she was still in the car. It's like, "Oh, you aren't doing as I say? Well, I begin spinning in my car to see how you react to that." They want a reaction from you. They want you to project any emotion, and if it's sadness or being any emotions that confirm their power over you. Finally, and this is the most baffling part of this case, in 2015, Bloomberg reported Price's ex-wife Christy Cullen gave a TEDx talk in which she, without naming Price, alleged that he had physically assaulted her. And in Jigwire we saw the headline, "University says it won't post TEDx video that accuses Gravity Payments CEO of abuse." According to Bloomberg, Cullen read on stage from what she called a 2006 journal entry, describing in detail an alleged incident of physical abuse by her then husband. So at the same time, everybody was going to know it was Price she was talking about. Her talk was about the power of writing to overcome trauma, according to the article. The victim begins to notice that there are red flags. They're too emotionally invested. They're emotionally invested as to go away with the program, because they have been manipulated from the start, and they say, hey, maybe I am the one who has problems because he is perfect or she is perfect and everybody loves them. Then I must be the one with problems. I must be the one to earn the love. And that's when they begin to manipulate you and hijack yourself of your sense of worth by making you feel guilty about everything and just lie by the scraps of love they throw at you. That's how this works, and that's why it's so fundamentally important that you realize when this begins to happen with anybody, because this can come from any person. This is one of the most important recommendations I give you. This can come from anybody, especially if they are suspiciously perfect in every way and everybody seems to defend or love them despite all the contradictions that you begin to notice with your own eyes and ears. I hope you are safe. My body language buddies, my name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the body language guy, and remember to download my 100 body language tips right in the description of this video. Much love and bliss. Take care, because I love you all.